All right, so Edochie is a gift that keeps giving. I don't know which episode we're on, but he can't help himself. Okay, so he left a statement here, and I thought, this was after. Who's Edochie? He's an actor. He's a Nollywood actor. Okay, came out a little less than 2 years ago. He wanted to become a polygamist, but the wife said no. Unfortunately or fortunately, he had already impregnated the second wife to be. He announced it to the world. From all indications, she was a side chick. He was just trying to flip her into. Her name is Judy Austin. He was trying to flip her into a second wife, but it didn't work out well. And sadly, they lost their child in the middle of all that too. The first child with the first wife, So he's been trolling himself along with the second wife to be, side chicks, side chicks. They've been trolling themselves. But they've been basically helping us create content. Yes, this is content. Don't get it twisted. Okay, this is content. But we just happen to also, we're very particular about extracting relationship-based lessons out of this stuff. Okay, all right. So that's what we're talking about. So you came out, I don't know, so literally 4 hours ago, and he put this statement out there. Said, "Are you still listening to social media advisors?" I laugh. 99.9%. When people say 99.9%, or they say 90%, or they say 95, if it's not 92 or 81 or 76, they are probably capping big time. Okay, they're probably lying to themselves. They're generalizing, they're oversimplifying a very complex experience that we call the human experience.
Stop the cap.
Okay, they're projecting at best. Something happened to them, and they're trying to project it to everyone else as the absolute truth or general truth. Okay, they're basically truth tellers, and their truth will always end up in the poto guaranteed. All right. So he goes, "Are you still listening to social media advisors?" I laugh. Right, he's right again. They always package it into some level of truth, right? But the truth end up in poto because we know the context, we know where you're coming from, we know the backstory. Not because we created it, you used your own mouth because you kept talking. You use your own mouth to tell us, right? And usually they're engaging Shalaye, so they can't help themselves. There's no evidence, there's no Shalaye, but oftentimes the general public is right.
We will explain because no evidence.
We know these things, okay? We can feel it. If we can't put our fingers on it, we can feel it, okay? So it goes, 99% of the people advising you have not even figured out the direction of their own lives. Well, here's the thing about life, all right? There's no guarantee, right? That doesn't mean we get to move mad, Sha. No, that's not how that works. We don't get to just run around town and talk about there's no guarantee. Just do anyhow. Imagine if everybody outside are just doing anyhow, right? Just imagine that.
They use your function to play.
Everybody just running around, just doing anyhow, right? That's a war zone, right? I don't want to do this to you, my brother, but you
are a mumu man.
Lord. They have not figured out the direction of their own lives. He didn't tell us anything new. We all know that we are all trying to figure out our own life. But we also, yes, there's a big old but we also know that there's some principles that are laid down already, right? There's history, right? There's data. And we see patterns. We know that certain behavior leads to certain consequences. We know that if you're a rude person, you self go collect one day. If you're a judgmental person, you will collect that same judgment 7 times over.
Sorry.
These are things that we know that we don't have to overemphasize, right? So he didn't tell us anything new. 99.9. He just was at 101%. Because even at that statement will still be correct. I have not yet figured out the direction of their own lives. Congratulations, you played yourself. We knew this already. But people are in the middle of an experience. It's a journey. Right? So it was never a requirement to figure out everything. In fact, one of the major problems with relationships, marriages, is that everybody's trying to figure everything out before they enter. or before they make the next move, I should say. The next move is as simple as engage, get to know, right? And find what you like the most, and then focus on it and nurture it, right? Because no one is going to do that for you. No good thing is going to fall out of the skies for you. You're going to create the experience you have in life. Directly, indirectly, it's completely up to you. And that's a beautiful thing, because now you can sit back and say, you know what? Let me calm down. Me too, I deserve soft life. What is the next move that I'm trying to make? Not the next 100 moves, right? But men that try to figure out the next 100 moves, they will come back, they will fail, because that's unrealistic. You can't figure out the next, all the moves. You can't. It's just impossible, right? But they will try, they will attempt anyway, in the spirit of trying to protect themselves, and they will effectively hurt themselves, right? They will not come back with generalized, oversimplified talks like 99.9% of the people, like, dude, just say 100 or 110. I will still take it in, but you didn't tell us anything new that people have not figured out their life. But that doesn't mean that they won't get to have an opinion about what you're doing. Our opinions are exactly that, opinions. It's not that deep. But those opinions are more of a truth than any form of generalizations, because they tell us, they give us insights on how people think, right? Your opinion matters to me on this issue that I'm talking about right now. Leave it in the comment below. It doesn't matter if I disagree or not, or if you agree or disagree. I want to get inside of that brain of yours and see how you think, or how you're thinking, because it builds all of us, elevates the conversation. But people like this, they would just like to make it an absolute. Why? Because they're projecting their failure on everybody else. That's the reality, right? So they have not yet figured their own lives. Tell us something new. Come up with something new. Come up with something that we didn't know before, right? They haven't solved their own family problems. Oh my show.
Shalaye!
And then he goes in and doubles down on that crazy ass advice that he gave yesterday. Brother, sister, do you? Okay? There are contexts where that's okay. You should do you. Do what works for you. Okay? But you have to say that out loud a few more times. You collect.
Sorry.
Clearly, you don't believe yourself. Clearly, you're having a hard time doing yourself. Clearly, whatever you were doing did not work for you. Because if it did, you wouldn't feel the need to push down our throats that you want to do you. Just do you now. The market will tell you if you're doing your results. Market will tell you the reality. Last, everybody will chalk breakfast.
Sorry.
Okay? Brother, sister, do you. Do what works for you. Focus on your journey. See, again, they always laced it in the truth. But context matters. Okay? He needs to go back and sit down somewhere and figure out how he's going to move his brand forward. We love him for being an actor. That's it. No more, no less. No one is happy about what happened to his family. The tragedy. No one is happy about that. I haven't met anyone that's happy. Okay? But yeah, the internet will troll you because it's a media space. They don't owe you explanations. Because it's not the person, it's persons that are not, a family member. They don't owe you anything. And you don't owe them Shalaye that doesn't have evidence.
We go explain, because no evidence.
Do what works for you. Focus on your journey. Baba, rest now. Zuka no Ike. Chidima, I said it right? Zuka no Ike. Right. Chiye. Anyway, my perfect wife. Now showing on water. Okay, so it's advertising. Yeah, do more of this. You, at this point now, you can rest. You don't have to troll yourself to advertise your movies. People are going to be curious. They're going to know what you're up to. And that's a blessing. But I think something tells him he has to troll himself before he can get attention. What kind of marriage is your ideal marriage? Would you fight for love? Would you betray your spouse for love? How well do you know your spouse? Yeah, it's a very lame way of selling. It's a very lame way of selling. Come on, you could do better. You're a smart guy. Come on, man. Anyway, do me a favor, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next lesson.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.